Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome to the deck guide for the Fallen Congregate crime deck for Syndicate. So the general gist behind this deck is that we'll be setting up loads of Intimidate cards, as well as some maybe cut up lackeys, and then playing crime cards to get value out of that. We also have a handful of Firesworn cards, including the new card Fallen Knight, which is an amazing card, and he gets buffed from not only Intimidate, but whenever you spawn a card. So we've got several ways to also spawn Firesworn Zealots too. So I think Syndicate is in a bit of a rough place at the minute comparatively to other decks, and this deck is no different. I'm going to give it a 3 stars out of 5, mainly because of the amount of setup that is needed in order to get the value. And it doesn't have any sort of massive plays. So in a short round, this deck does pretty badly. There's not many cards in it that give a lot of value. The biggest one is probably Harold Gord, but that only matters in like a short round 3. But in a long round, I think this deck is really nice. Once you've done the setup, you can push forward with loads of strength pretty nicely. So the pros of this deck is that you can easily push on red coin. You're able to push your opponent to his limit really, because you do the setup and then you get a lot of value. The next pro is that there's not really much coin management in this deck. There are a couple of cards that need 3 coins, like Horson Senior. We can save our leader card to get 3 coins that way. And a lot of other ones are pretty self-sufficient. We do have the new card Smuggle, which gains us 3 coins as well. And the deck is pretty consistent. We've got a Neuromancy, we've got Portal, we've got Vivaldi Bank, and Excommunication. So a lot of ways to get the cards we want. The cons of the deck, which I think are quite a lot bigger, are your removal. It wants to be set up to get proper value from the crime synergy. Like, you can use Bloody Good Fun and you can use Assault, but like, you want the crime synergy, so you want to put down your Intimidate cards before you start using them, but then the cards that you want to remove, may have grown outside your removal range at that point. So there's a little bit of an awkwardness there where you want to remove something, but you want to put down the Intimidate cards first. A lot of setup can be needed. In like round 3, I find myself taking 4 or 5 turns to just set up Horson Senior, to set up loads and loads of other things before I can actually start playing my crime cards. So sometimes the setup can be a bit over the top, in my opinion. So let's have a look at a game where I play this, and hopefully, you'll enjoy it. I think it's a fun deck. It's definitely nice to get the setup and then get the value and just, buff up loads of value. But let me know what you think. Take care, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
We've left.
Right, I feel like the Symbiosis deck has seemingly become quite, what's the word, set. Like, I seem to see a lot of similar cards recently. So we need to get rid of both mutants. We have done that. We can pull the portal with that. We've got him and him, which is great. I think he might be like one of the... I've only got 2 bronze... yeah, I've only got 2 bronze units. These 2. So, well, 3 then, but I meant 2 different types. I think that's good. I think we're okay with that. So yeah, we'll keep that. I don't want to get a mutant. So we use an Neuromancy to get the portal. Actually, I'm wrong. I do also have the mutants, but they're for the portal. So burn the non-humans. These mutants are classed as human, so they've still got some humanity. Look at them, little guys. Right, we've got Xavier Morin. Whenever you play a dwarf, gain 1 armor and boost by 1 when it... So one thing I'm not a fan of with this particular deck is the fact that I'm playing it. No, is that I want to use these crime cards to damage it and stuff like that. As they come down, you want to remove stuff as they come down so they don't start gaining value and get out of your damage range. But you need to set up all these fucking engines with Intimidate before you can start playing your crimes. Like, even this might not be enough. Like, I might need to play him and him first. So then I've got 4 Intimidates on the board, if they stick. And then we can start playing some crimes. Then we can start doing some crime. Right, I'm going to go onto the Gwent Reddit And I'm going to do some crime. Time for me to do some crime. Okay. Boost the allied dwarf by 2 and give it 2 armor. Right. Again, see, I want to kill that. But let's try not doing that.
We're but a handful, we still wear the colours.
We've got to save our leader for Horson Senior in a different round. Might be able to get away with not doing it, but it really makes it a lot easier if you do. Dwarf deck. I don't know. I'd love to see a good dwarf deck. I mean, the dwarfs seem to synergize well because he gives armor and the other guys get armor. Oh, that's a weird one.
Yes, that would fit perfectly.
Let's play my first crime card. Assault. On precinct 13, we've got 2 Salamander. Bam. These are the 2 Salamander.
200.
Right. We don't have many things for him to get spawned. Rebuke. I hate Rebuke. Such an annoying card. It's like 5 removal and 2 buff. It's just so good. I probably won't even play him because I haven't got anything for him spawn. Unless I play her. Yeah, why not?
How low we have fallen.
So, I mean, I haven't hit him because I can't kill him easily, and the opponent basically gets the last say on whether he gets barricade. Because it's the end of his turn, so he can always just play a dwarf after I take the thing off. It's really kind of good in that case. And he starts at 5, 6 with 1 armor, so he's like really hard to remove. A really nice card, I think, that one. That would be good. Given a unit vitality or armor.
The forest holds many secrets.
See what I get with her. Right, I was looking for either Congregate, that one, because then I would have got loads of value from him. But failing that, I was looking for this, so I could just take that out now.
Few things more satisfying than a kill from a distance.
There you go. He's big. I don't have any tall removal in this deck. Well, it's a shit deck then, isn't it? Imagine not taking tall removal. What's going on here? Oh my god! Get 3 coins and play the top card plus any coins, so I get to play a few. Bam. Let's go for Congregate. That'll be a good value. Boom, 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 boom. If you've got one of those, then Congregate is really good. And this is where the points come in, boys. And now we can do that if we want. We've still got these. But, you know, they're just 4 damage at this point. 4 damage and a bit of extra coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 8 value for 4. 8 for 4. Not bad, guys. Not bad. So that's tempering, right? Oh, so that's why you got 1 armor. So him being 6 alone is not as good as being 7. So damage generated by 3 at the end of your turn, lose armor and boost out by that much. Right.
Oh, those gunners are in for a waddle to hunt.
Oh, you're gonna temper him? Right. That. Let's do this.
Disappear into the darkness. Begone!
That's 2 crime cards, a nice chunk of value there. I would have liked to play that other card, but considering I didn't play that first, I would have only had 1. I'm not sure I'm feeling that card in this deck. I always find that I don't spawn that many Congregates, and if I do, I probably win anyway. I've played like several games now, like 5 games. I've never found him super useful, just because he's always been awkward to play.
Art thou worthy?
But I do find in round 1 you can push like this reasonably well with this deck. But I've been in this position before where I've won like this. And then I went straight to a round 3 and I still lose to a Squirtle with all that symbiosis, rebuke nonsense. Because it just requires a lot of setup. And if I use a lot of crime cards here, then I have less crime cards later on. I don't think I want 2 of those. That's good. Anything else? Right, we've got 2. An Aromancy is good. Okay. Final round, I suppose. Again, how useful is this guy going to be? I'll be able to get a decent chunk with my leader charges. He'll only damage himself by 4. But I feel like I need to get these engines on the board, and it always feels like if they start removing, doing lacerate or something, we're going to be in trouble. Okay, that's a good card. Probably die though. That's a great card, and that's probably a decent card. What else we got? These 2. So I think I'm willing to risk. Okay. We can definitely get that immunity, but how many crime cards are we going to have then? 1, 2. So I think it's probably not worth doing him, because he only gets 4 extra points, whereas that'll get me to a bit more, maybe. And this is where I don't know what I should do here. Like, do I play as our Javed first? Or do I play him first and use all my leader charges so that he hopefully survives? Let's try this. How you doing? Floke Bayer. So we'll get him up to a 7. We'll put 1 at the back.
Remove his cowl, then his ears.
So that I don't have any Congregates actually, so I could probably put them all at the front. Ooh, a Johnny.
Do I look like a
Oh, Robert Johnny.
Pissing him. Not the sign of deepest regret.
Right. Actually, if these don't die, which they may very well do to Johnny, then we actually do seem to have a decent amount for him. Whenever you play a spell, right? We do have assault, so
The child's scars are proof.
right. That's my engine set up. Now it's time to. Now by doing this is also counterintuitive to him, is what I'm finding. Now I've only got 1, possibly 3, but I need to get these up early because I want to start playing my crime cards because I don't want him to get too much value. And that's always the case. There's always something you want to remove.
I will not
So,
let this become a second son.
Rebuke. So it's either that or that. Okay, it's fine. Get this guy.
Belly or throat? Got a preference?
We've got 2 Salamander. Him and that. Which is lucky for me. This looks like a win because I've got it established and I've, and he hasn't established me. I've established him. Let's play God.
Used to chop wood, but the pay's better for souls.
Anyway, want to play with me? I want to try that against that deck. This deck. Well, that's a bit counterintuitive, right? Wouldn't you be able to target my deck now?